The 2025 Fox 38 had a lot of marketing behind it, so in this video you're going to find out the truth. I got a 180mm Grip X2 Kashima coated factory, and I'm going to ride it, and then I'm going to steal the Grip X damper out of the Marzocchi Super Z, upgrade my old Fox 38, compare those two forks, and tell you if it's worth upgrading from the Grip 2. The new 38 definitely feels like a new fork, but you have to remember it's just some new stickers and a new damper. So this is not a bad thing. Just think about a Toyota Tacoma or Toyota 4Runner. They're basically the same truck for like 15 years. This isn't no RockShox where they basically add in a new damper, a new air spring, and buttercups, and every time it's the best thing ever. So Fox takes their time and gets things right when it comes to forks here, not shocks. So the Grip X2 definitely feels like the Grip 2, and it definitely looks like the Grip 2. Let's focus on the chassis. So I'm glad Fox cleared this up on their website. So the new 2025 fork I have here has the 58 head crown, and the one on the right is the e-bike 68 head crown. This like massive bulge. So that's supposed to match certain e-bikes on the market. I can tell you from my personal experience, I do not like reinforced head crowns. I find them to understeer and be too stiff. You want your fork to have some flex in it. Mountain bike products are for dirt and scratches, but when they're brand new, it's really hard to take them out of the box, bolt them on your bike, and know they're never going to look this pretty ever again. I know there was some marketing behind the weight of the Grip X and the Grip X2 damper being lighter, so if you're counting grams on a 38mm stanchion fork, I'm afraid you're on the wrong suspension. So the new 2025 Fox 38 Grip X2 damper with a full steer tube comes in at 5 pounds, 5 ounces. So depending on how much steer tube you cut off, it's roughly the same weight. There is no arguing that Fox has a monopoly when it comes to the bling factor. Every flagship mountain bike on the market has this fork hanging off the front. The stickers, as much as I am a Darth Vader black and white guy, do look pretty darn good. The Grip X2 has the same feel as the Grip 2, so it's kind of like jumping in a Toyota and knowing exactly where the cruise control is, so I do really appreciate this. Same goes for the Grip X, has the same feel, so let's count those clicks. 19 low, 16 low speed rebound, 8 clicks of high speed rebound. Finally acquiring a bike that's safe for the DHX2, I figured I would count them both, because suspension is a team sport here. So we do have matching clicks from the DHX2 to the Grip X2, so this is pretty cool. We have 10 clicks of high speed compression, 18 clicks of low speed compression, 8 clicks of high speed rebound, and like 17 or 18 clicks of low speed rebound. There's kind of some variation when you get to the end of each adjuster. Someone please tell me why Fox puts so much oil in the air spring side. It's literally jizzing out all over my hand. There's got to be a good reason behind this. Maybe because people don't service the air spring and it ensures a long life of not getting the oil changed. So I'm not going to fully strip down this factory 38, but it does have a nice glob of grease on the air spring like every single Fox fork from the factory. So let's talk about the volume tokens. In this 180mm fork, it has 1 token. So let's check out this chart. We can see the tokens increase as the travel goes down. I would personally follow the non-e-bike volume chart when starting out. I find it pretty darn good. So I have been riding different bikes, and this could depend on your bike and where your weight is positioned on the bike. Scrolling through the rest of the setup guide from Fox, if you weigh 220 pounds or 100 kilograms like myself and you set your rebound to this chart, you're going to have an extremely bad experience. Throw your Fox 38 in the trash can and probably buy a Zep. You need to get the rebound to at least the middle to get the proper performance, because the rebound will literally choke this shock up. One of the major updates for Fox for the 2025 years, we got rid of this white suspension fluid. The 5-way Teflon fluid, it wasn't bad motor oil or suspension oil, it just didn't give the best performance. So the best suspension tuner guys I've talked to says always start with tuning it with oil. Lighter oil, softer feel. Thicker oil, harder feel. So this red Motor X oil is legendary and will give your fork more performance regardless of what damper you have. This fluid in your fork, it will ride better. Even to the point of putting the 4-way Motor X oil in a Fox 36 Rhythm, the damping felt more consistent and better. So I always go for lighter fluid because I want a super supple off the top, bro. So try not to fall into the upgrade trap. A simple oil change on your existing Grip 2 damper may be all the results you want. So this is the Grip 2 compression assembly, the most important part about the damper. And now we're going to look at the Grip X compression assembly. We see the base valve is definitely bigger, so it's going to quote unquote flow more oil. One note from a mechanic standpoint, not engineering or marketing, we have a definitely stiffer spring on the Grip X assembly. I'm sure the Grip X2 has roughly the same compression assembly, so I'm not going to take the Grip X2 apart because it takes me like all day to do these fork teardown and reassemblies. Here's another odd question here. So I'm going to put my exact settings from the Grip 2 and the Grip X into the Grip X2, and we're going to see how those compare. So the new 2025 fork is going to be on the Santa Cruz Bullet, and my bikes are going to get the junkier dampers because I usually get the short end of the stick to film the next video. With any heavy-duty piece of enduro downhill suspension, the simple cross-country transfer stage, there's no benefit. The first little huck to flat was truly impressive on the Grip X2 damper. I had to look down at that thing and was like, wow, that felt amazing. So one massive benefit of the Grip X2 having the same architecture, the same kind of feel, your settings are going to work pretty darn good. So definitely the Grip X2 damper feels pretty confident straight away. There's no adjustment period like going from Charger 2 to Charger 3 damper. Dropping in at a more chunky section of trail on the Grip X2 damper, I was truly impressed right away. It absorbs the bumps better and definitely retains more mid-stroke support than the Grip 2 damper. I think Fox did an excellent job here retaining the same air spring because you can basically plug in all your settings. When RockShox went from Charger 2 original Zeb to Charger 3, the air spring was wildly different and took a whole different tuning session. So one area of riding I found the Fox 38 to kind of fall short on was the jumping. The Zeb definitely did jump better, but this almost changed my mind. So let me give you the fork's perspective on my mediocre jump line. So this is the one reason I really do enjoy the smaller head crown. I feel like they steer better. Those overly stiff head crowns on any fork, I just find them to kind of understeer. So I'm just trying to give you the highlights from my ride, not give you a whole 20-minute bumbling session. So this is kind of a steeper section of trail with a couple roots on top, and I think it's going to be the perfect comparison Grip 2 to Grip X2. That Grip X2 damper felt outstanding. So one reason I put the nice new fork on my friend's bike so I could retain the old Grip 2 damper on my Rocky Mountain Altitude so I could really feel the difference on the same section of trail. The Grip 2 definitely felt good on this section, but not quite as composed. Past all the marketing, the Grip X2 was definitely giving me more confidence in the steep, chunkier sections of trail. The damping has definitely increased. I don't know if it's $1,300 increase, but a damper upgrade, most likely. Past the marketing, the Grip X2 damper is a worthy upgrade. It is pretty legendary performance, and if you have the cash to burn, this gold one is damn good looking. So my YouTube channel is held together by zip ties, how many shocks I can flip, how the bike market's doing, the goodwill of my friends, so consider becoming a channel member to help me make videos. So I was borrowing that Santa Cruz Bullet and the Grip X2 fork to make this part of the video. So we're going to move on to upgrading your old Fox 38 with the Grip X damper. So I filmed this a few months ago and I was waiting to get my hands on this fork so I could make one compilation video rather than like 7 videos on the Fox Float X2 series. So our first difference between the Grip X, this one, the Marzocchi Grip X, and the X2 I was just riding, the Marzocchi Grip X has 15 clicks of high and low speed compression on the top. On the bottom of the damper, on the GripX, we only have one rebound assembly, and we have like 18 clicks of low speed rebound. So the real question on this part of the video, do you really need high speed rebound? It's a good thing I waited a few months on this GripX 2 video, because you can now buy this for your old 38. So I came up with the idea to swap the dampers because I was basically servicing that GripX for the video. So we see that big bulge right here. Basically this bulge houses the larger main piston, the same as the GripX 2. I really doubt Fox makes two different compression assemblies, they're probably just subtly different. Moving on to the Grip 2, we can see how skinny it is here because we have a smaller base piston. So here's the short answer, guys. Both the GripX and the GripX 2, if you get them set up right, you're gonna get some legendary performance out of both. If you want the long story and get some setup tips and see how the GripX rides, let me tell you the long story. So I have the GripX plugged into my 2021 Fox 38. So I put the damper in, but I pulled the tokens out because I want to feel how it's going to be without tokens. That is a massive mistake. So I built the fork up, pumped it up, 120 PSI like I normally ride. The bike sat for like a week and a half, and then I went out and rode it. First setup tip you should know is Fox 38 forks lose air pressure. So if you pump them up to 120 and then they sit for a week and a half, they'll go down to 90. I've been testing this for months. So it's a really good idea to check your Fox 38 air pressure. I'm not joking, every single ride if you are above 100 PSI. So I just spent like an hour trying to get this Fox 38 set up, and I absolutely couldn't get it right. So the damper felt pretty incredible. I was just clapping the fork out because I was at 90 PSI with no tokens. So think about tokens like a necessary evil. The fork feels better without them, but you have to put them in if you're a big guy who weighs 100 kilograms or 220 pounds. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting 2 tokens back in it, going back to my old setup. And that's when I discovered the fork had lost 30 pounds of air. Heading back out with 2 tokens and the correct air pressure in the fork. The performance of the fork was pretty legendary on my test track. Since I've rode every single damper fork I've ever had on this trail, I can really measure it up. So what you're basically getting out of the GripX and the GripX 2 is better compression damping, more mid-stroke support, more supportive. So you used to have to choose a Zeb if you wanted a supportive poppy fork. This is definitely leveling the playing field. The performance is fucking outstanding to the point I'm clapping the fork out with my old Fox 38 setup. I'm not joking you, I was riding better than I've ever rode with this new GripX damper installed. I had to go to 3 tokens in a 180mm fork. I've never felt the need on a Grip 2 damper to add more tokens in. This could have to do with the larger base piston pushing more oil through it. With 3 tokens in that 180mm fork, it was just pure confidence. The bottom line on the new grip dampers, you're basically getting a more supportive feel so it jumps better. I used to kind of want a Zeb or ride the Marzocchi Super Z because I wanted that supportive feel on those pounding blue flow trails. With the Fox 38 plush bucket air spring, you could feel a little bit wallowy through these sections of trail. Most notable was on steeper lips. The new GripX damper was giving me more confidence. And obviously, I'm not the most talented rider, so that does says a lot. Like when you see a pro athlete, he could be on a sun tour and basically win a race. And per usual, Fox forks are better than RockShox, just like SRAM drivetrains are better than Shimano, and sometimes I ride Shimano drivetrains. So marketing aside, the GripX and the GripX 2 here both have a much bigger range in compression. So if you're familiar with the 2019, the original Grip 2, it had a massive range in compression. And they basically just brought this back for 2025. So the old Grip 2 in the Fox 38 had 8 clicks, but you could go from 0 to 8 and it barely did anything. You put this thing on 50% and it is extremely firm. I would 100% reach for the GripX because I found no performance gain from being able to adjust the high speed rebound. I think it's kind of for marketing managers or maybe the most top level athlete in the world. I was running them both wide open, fully fast for best performance. As per usual, every video I make, I do learn something new. So I was gonna do a whole bunch of side-by-side comparison that takes me hours and hours to edit. So I went out on the Grip 2 before I swapped in the Grip X and filmed that same test track section of trail. I'm pretty happy with the Grip 2, but I'm extremely happy with the Grip X. I would advise you to try to ride one of your friend's bikes with one of these reinforced head crowns on the 68 head crown Fox 38 before you just blindly order one, because I personally love the little head crown. I just found it to steer better. Now if you want to see a brand that got the head crown completely correct, you got to click this video on your screen.